There is a rework on the PvE that might very well benefit Jinx and honestly other champions that have a lot of movement speed in their kit or a mechanic around movement speed or in their builds very well. So could in fact Jinx reach above 1000 or at least 1000 movement speed? Legitimately, possibly. So even though the title might be a bit sensationalized or clickbaity, I apologize. It's YouTube, so as such, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit that bell notification, but let's get into this video. So the rework itself about Celerity is that its movement speed bonuses are 10% more effective on you. And I said it's, but I mean like movement speed bonuses in general are more effective on you by a whole 10%. So what this means, like for Jinx, for example, this applies to Zeal items. They usually have movement speed, and so that will affect you as giving you more movement speed when you have those Zeal items. Boots, which kind of everybody builds, is going to give you a bit more bang for your buck now. But Jinx has her passive, and her passive is a great way to both clean up fights and chase down kills. But if a kill is like just out of range, even with rapid fire cannon, of course, the extra movement speed you might now be getting in the initial burst of the Get Excited passive, the 175% of it, could now be huge, and using this to chase down kills once you get to the mid to the late game where Jinx wants to scale and kind of be the most powerful anyway, right? Like early game, probably not gonna see a lot of difference, but the later the game goes, the more, you know, movement speed items you build with Zeal items and such, and then the more, you know, the way you use your passive specifically is going to probably dictate how well and how much move speed you can actually get off of the new Celerity. And what I mean is like also chaining resets as well. So getting a reset, using that to quickly get another one to get another boost, another like burst of speed from your passive as well, and just try and like do it that way. You can in fact reach very high numbers. And so what I'm going to do is actually pass it off to a little bit of some gameplay and showing like some specific numbers within on the PvE of what the movement speed for Jinx can in fact be. And then afterwards I'll do a conclusion on at the very end. Awesome. Hopefully this time without technical difficulties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show, like, let's say, you know, without anything, we got 0 bonus movement speed from Celerity, and we have 325 base movement speed like Jinx does. Now let's take a quick second to level up everything and kind of do the whole 9 yards. And let's say it's like roughly mid-game where we probably have like a triple crit kind of a thing, because the movement speed is going to come from the boots and the Zeal items. Let's say we go Storm Razor, because that's the thing right now, double Zeal item, and even boots, right? With that, we now have 422 movement speed, and Celerity has given us 9 bonus movement speed because of that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to lane, get a kill, and look at how much movement speed Celerity will give us first, and then how much movement speed that actually equates to, and how that can be worked to make Jinx really effective because of the way she wants to use her passive to clean up team fights, maybe get a reset, get even more movement speed with another passive proc, and just run down people very consistently. Does this translate to 1000 movement speed? I think it could. It might involve maybe an extra Zeal item, but let's see right here, for example, how much movement speed. 67 movement speed off of Celerity at roughly what we can maybe call like a mid to late game build for Jinx, right? We're not fully skilled into the late game, but we've made progress. If we're at this point, we either have, you know, CS'd well, turtled very well, or maybe we even won lane and we're snowballing, right? So a couple things. Just for the sake of, let's say we go to a full build, there's no tank, so I don't need a Last Whisper for that too, right? That's one thing to think about. Another thing to think about is we're letting Caitlyn get enough time to get back to the lane so I can, you know, proc it, and we can look at how much move speed specifically we're getting off of this proc as well. Okay, so there she is. So let's try and see if we can see here. 811 move speed. Now, granted, these 2 items didn't really matter, so this is the 3 items you want to look at, because Zeal item gives you 7%, and the boots give you a percentage of movement speed as well. 811 move speed. Yes, are you in the mood for some speed? 800 move speed is actually quite a bit. But here's the thing, right? Like, let's say you have unlucky dragon RNG, and so the first dragon of the game that your jungler is really not even trying to get is a Cloud Dragon. Well, if you didn't know, Cloud Dragon's movement speed, both in and out of combat, does actually synergize with Celerity on live, and it still synergizes with this new reworked Celerity. So even though it's not the most appealing dragon on Jinx, an immobile champion, the extra move speed is just kind of nice to, you know, help yourself kite when your team doesn't try to peel for you at all.
But in and out of combat, it also translates to more movement speed. There's more from Celerity now. It's not a lot, of course, because it's just the one dragon so far, but it's still some, which is better than like nothing. That was 858 move speed right there, by the way. So now let's farm the other 2 drakes real quick. And you also have to imagine that this is in the midst of a team fight where even with rapid fire cannon, maybe they have really slippery targets, right? Maybe they have people that can get away very easily. You know, Ahri is something that's super meta right now with her ultimate. Maybe it's hard to chase her down if she's going to use it to try and escape. And you want that, you know, just like a little bit something extra to help you really chase down and take her out. Or just mobile targets period. Even Echo for that matter, when he has his E and he has the proto belt and he's just running for the hills. And you're just like, even with rapid fire, you can't quite reach him. Well, guess what that means? Means, let's say in the game you got a couple Cloud Drakes on top of having this build and your passive. How much move speed does that translate to? Because right now with Celerity, that translates into 16 extra movement speed. And I think we're officially out of combat, so that's an accurate number, right? Alright, 479 move speed out of combat. Let's see what that translates into with Get Excited. We got to 858, can we get higher? 864, so not quite even 900, let alone 1000. But one of the things to note is that maybe if your chaining resets, how much, you know, maybe you can get that way. So let's move over to the mid lane. I'm saying a lot of M's and it's getting me tongue-tied for some reason. Let's see, we go to the mid lane. Let's go demolish some towers, right? We are Jinx. Jinx is a tower killer. Oh, that's right, they have this the thing on it, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, but we'll do it. And try and keep track of the move speed that we're getting in the moment. Oh wow, that's a lot of gold though. Oh wait, let's not do that. Let's not do that. We're friends here. Well, no, we're not. I'm gonna make everything invulnerable so I can in fact just run at them though. So what we're gonna try and do here is knock down all these towers and the Nexus and just kind of gauge how much movement speed we can get. And then we'll talk about it to conclude the video. So we're at 442 because we're in combat. So we got up to 700 something. Let's see what happens if we can get this before it goes away. We probably won't because these things are beefy. So we're gonna go for the Nexus towers. At this point, the bot should recall and also give us another opportunity to get a reset. There we go. So here we go. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. So we can get up to, let's say, 824. It's still about 800. So even with chaining resets, it doesn't maybe add on to that much. But it's just other ways. Like anything that gives you move speed. Think like Karma, Janna, Lulu, those champions that want to actually kill for you, giving you their shields and stuff that allow you to do stuff, right? Like that right there. I probably read that wrong, but that looked like a 907 move speed, right? There definitely are ways to do that. So in the conclusion of the video, I'll talk about the final parts going into it, but this is the gameplay side so you can see some numbers. Hopefully that gave you a better visual of what I'm trying to talk about.
So in conclusion, could Jinx realistically with the new Celerity reach 100 move speed? And the answer is yes. Is it now necessarily viable? Maybe not. And obviously if a game's going that late, you're probably cleaning up kills off of your damage alone. You're probably not chasing down somebody just based off of the move speed. But it is kind of nice to think about the fact that, you know, the way Jinx wants to work, as I explained several times now, so it's kind of like a broken record, is you want to use the passive to clean up fights, kind of like a janitor a bit, and you snowball a game, snowball objectives, and this will definitely help Jinx out a bit. So that maybe when, especially in pro play, teams are looking at Jinx, maybe they can be like, oh hey, Celerity actually works a lot better than it already kind of did on Jinx. So maybe if we think we want to clean up a team fight, we build a comp around a hyper carry, Jinx is at least an option we can look at. And then for those of us that already play Jinx, then this is already totally fine. I don't think she's going to break solo queue or anything like that, right? Like 100 or 1000, I should say, move speed isn't like ridiculously broken because it's not like consistently 1000 move speed. We're not talking Jin or something like that, but it is something to think about in terms of if you've ever needed that extra like inch or something to chase down a kill that's getting away. Rapid fire cannon's proc isn't up, or it is up, but they're still just out of range. This will probably help a bit, right? So that being said, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, of course, the bell notification. You know the drill. But thank you so much for watching. I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.